Hi, we're Lisa and Angie. Welcome to another episode of Pep Talks and Prosecco.
If you like what you see and hear, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and share with your friends and family. We are all about building community.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Cheers, Lise. Happy Sunday to you, my friend.
Cheers! It's great to see you.
Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you as well, especially today because it's Sunday and we are launching season 3 of Pep Talks and Prosecco. What the what?
It's crazy. It's so exciting to think like 3 seasons. What? And a year, like right around this time, we launched Wotherwill Group a year ago. It's absolutely incredible. And it's been so much fun.
You know, when we were talking, you and I, just even before we started getting ready to tape the episode for today, one word that came out was evolution, right? But because that truly is what this has been for us over the last 12 months here, is a complete evolution. And to think that we're going into season 3, just I don't know, it blows my mind and I'm so excited. And this season is, I think, indicative of how intentional we've become with the direction that we're going with Wotherwill Group.
Absolutely. This podcast or vlog, whatever we're calling it, was never in the cards when we first started talking about Wotherwill Group. And, we couldn't get together all of the time. So we started hanging out on Sunday afternoons, chatting about what our vision was going to be. And all of a sudden, we're here with season 3 of Pep Talks and Prosecco. And of course, when we knew one thing for sure when we launched, and that was that our mission was to build a community of people living, loving, and leading their best lives. And that we know that we value community and purpose and connections because, we've always known, you and I have known for a long time that our social connections, those people in our lives, they truly are the drivers for us when it comes to our happiness and our success, whatever our success looks like, and, achieving some goals. And so even though we've evolved as far as Pep Talks and Prosecco and how we're showing up for our community every single day, one thing we've known for sure is that community and building each other up are truly, truly what we value the most.
I agree with you. And I'm going to add a little bit to that I think now more than ever, how we are able to connect and be surrounded by people who are nurturing for us is essential more than ever. More than 100%. It ever has been. And so, we've been so fortunate, you and I, we have built relationships with people that we have maybe would have never crossed paths with prior to Wotherwill Group. And over the last year, we have benefited so greatly by having these interactions. A lot of them have been through our social media platforms, and connecting with people who have become part of our community, but we've also become part of the community that they're building for their initiatives and their goals as well. And it really has allowed us to grow and develop and foster and nurture these amazing relationships with people. And just to be completely honest with our community, that really was a determining factor in our planning for season 3 of Pep Talks and Prosecco.
It absolutely was. I've been following Jody Carrington a little bit since the pandemic hit. And, she talks about us being wired for connection and how when we're connected, we can do hard things. And a lot of people in our community are choosing their hard right now. We've talked about this a lot in our events and in our coaching sessions that we do, that when we choose our hard, right, we're choosing to do those hard things that are going to help us evolve into that vision of that better version of ourselves. And I'm just excited because we have surrounded ourselves, as you say, with people that build us up. And I am excited that we are going to invite many of those women to join us on Pep Talks and Prosecco this season. And it's a stellar lineup, if I do say so myself.
Freaking fantastic is what I'm going to say.
Freaking fantastic. And we've come up with a bit of a theme for season 3. Do you want to tell our community a little bit about that?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you tossed that to me. Okay, I'm so yeah, totally. I'll do it. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, our goal is that if there is at least one more woman in the world who connects with us and understands that she is not alone, but has at minimum you and I, but also the whole Wotherwill community supporting her, that truly is what we are all about, right? Is that we don't have to do it alone. And you know, there are so many pieces that people are going through right now, and you know, that whether it be whatever it may be, whether it be fear or you know, a lack of a sense of freedom right now, whatever it may be for you, we're here to support you with feeling it and working your way through it and facing it and working your way through it, but ultimately knowing that you are not alone. And Lisa, you and I did one of our workshops. And in that workshop, we had a participant who has become a friend of ours, you know, which is we're the benefactors,
yes,
for sure in this. And she made a comment that just resonated with us. And I still get goosebumps whenever I think about it. And she said during the workshop, and I apologize if she's listening right now. Well, I know she's listening. She listens to all of our stuff. Because I'm not gonna quote it exactly, but you'll get the gist of it. What she said was, what you two have, Lisa and Angie, is what I need. You are wing women for each other. And that's the piece that I'm searching for, that I'm also needing as well. And in the moment, I was like, oh wow, that's such a great comment. But the more that I thought about it, the more it sat with me, the more I realized how incredibly fortunate you and I are to just have that in place together. And we truly are, not just in Wotherwill, but personally and professionally and beyond, we are each other's wing women. And it's been work to build that, and we benefit from that, and we're so fortunate to have that. And it was just like, it hit me like, not everybody has what you and I have, but there's no reason why we can't share with people how you can become connected, who can become part of be your wing women, be part of your team. And then you and I were doing a lot of talking about this, and all of a sudden I came out and it was like, it's like building your flight crew.
Yes.
Right? Because if you're going to fly, if you're going to soar, you really truly want to have the best crew on board with you. And you're going to have the people that are like super close, and you're going to have the people that have important jobs, but maybe they're not on the flight with you, but they're still part of the flight crew. All of those people impact the success that you're about to embark on. And our entire season 3 of Pep Talks and Prosecco is all about building your flight crew. And you guys, you better like buckle those darn seatbelts, because it is going to be quite the ride.
Yeah, buckle that seatbelt and put your tray tops in the upright position, because we are heading on a trip of a lifetime this season. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. You know, you talked about us being each other's wing women, and I just could not agree with you more. We have had that luxury over the past, over a decade for sure, to be there for each other and cheer each other on. And one of the things that I know about the two of us is that, like you say, it didn't happen overnight. And we've taken, an opportunity to trust each other, learn to trust each other to a point now where I know that when I need someone to tell me to get out of that funk or pull up your socks or quit talking to yourself like that, I know that you're the person who will say that to me. And I know that it comes from a place of positive intent. And it's just really cool when you can have people like that in your life. And so, as you say, that's our goal, and that's always been our goal. You and I have talked about, you can set goals and you can break them down, and you can have the best made plans when it comes to achieving goals, or implementing routines, or whatever it is you're trying to do. But if you don't have people in your corner cheering you on and kicking your butt, I don't believe that you will experience the same level of success as when you do have those people in the ring in your corner with you.
Ah, I love it. So now I'm going to ask you something, though. This wasn't planned. Sorry. This is where Lisa's like, pause, pause, pause. She's going off script.
Yeah.
Don't really script it, actually, you guys, just so
Mm-mm.
you know. I have a question for you then, because I agree with you. But so what's your criteria for when you're building your flight crew? I am but one member, and I know you have a very diverse flight crew. So what are some of your standards, requirements, expectations?
Yeah, for sure. I've actually been really fortunate, as you know, to be a part of a girl gang that I've been in for, almost 20 years. And, we've grown up together, I would say. And I think we've changed alongside each other. But when I think about who I choose to be in that circle, um, they're joy seekers, because that's who I am. And not that I'm saying that we have to be the same, but they're people that when I leave their presence, I feel full. I feel lifted up. I feel like I'm coming away a better person than when I went into whatever it might be. Right now, it could be a Zoom call, or when we would get together for wine. They must love wine. But they're people who are optimistic, even when things are tricky, even when things are hard. They know that we can embrace that, but that there's always going to be a better day ahead. And the women that I choose to be around are honest. They're that critical friend, right? They're going to tell you, we just talked about this, when you need a reality check or a perception check, right? They cheer you on. They're there for you, not only when things are hard, but when things are going well too. And I guess I notice the women in my life are driven. And I don't mean like they're all CEOs or, small business owners or anything like that. They're passionate about something, and they stand up for that passion, whether, regardless of what it is. They work hard for what they believe in. So I guess those are some things that I'm thinking about. People I trust, people who are optimistic and are your cheerleaders.
I love
How
that.
about you? How about you?
Well, I'm just in awe of how effortlessly you answered that question. That just tells me how grounded you are in your beliefs around that. So I'm just going to buy a little bit more time and say I'm in awe one more time.
Just as you're trying to come up with your own answers.
There was so many. It's not that, it's not even that. It's just a lot of the pieces that you said align very closely with mine, which really shouldn't be a surprise because we're so compatible. Yes. Yet, we balance each other in many ways as well. I think the biggest thing for me before I can answer that is just to say one of the hardest things I've had to do is let go of expectations that I've placed on others who I made the assumption that they would be part of my flight crew. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like Wotherwill is a great example. Like there were people, I'm just going to be brutally honest, that I thought for sure would be just like hardcore Angie, Lisa cheerleaders. And
Yeah.
I don't even know if they follow us on any of our accounts. And you know what? I had to work through that a little bit because those were my expectations.
Yeah.
And if you're one of those people and you're listening to it, I don't want you to feel guilty. That's not my point. My point
No.
was I had to shift my expectations. And that's just one example of where I've had to do that in life. But when I like you, I have several groups of people in my life who I feel just provide great value to my being. My key phrase is I choose to surround myself, but that by people who really force me, and I use the word force, to level up, to be my best version of myself. To be a subpar version of Angie would not be sufficient for them. And I love that because it shouldn't be sufficient for me either. And I truly am drawn and admire people who embrace their scars. And everyone has a story.
Yeah.
And everyone has the opportunity to filter it and to put a spin on it so that you don't maybe see the root of the story, the hurt, the ugly, the bad decisions and all of that. People who embrace their scars have my utmost respect. And I find myself being drawn to those people because I watch them persevere time and time again. And I'm like, I want to cheer you on. I want the honor of being able to cheer you on, but I want to learn alongside you as well as to how you work through the hard. And yeah, so as you were talking, I was like, there's a lot of similarities. There's a couple people in particular that really stood out for me that I am defining them to a T, and they know who they are. And I'm just incredibly honored that not only are they part of my flight crew, but they've chosen me to be part of their flight crew as well.
Yes. I love that. I love that. You know that saying that we are the average of the 5 people that we surround ourselves with, whether it's true or not. There's a few people, there's a few studies out there that do definitely say that. And so when you think about that and you think about the 5 people that are closest to you, or those people who are in that inner circle, because as you say, and I love that, there are people who are truly really in my inner circle. And then of course there are other people who may not be on the flight, but they still play an important role in our lives, right? But when you think about that idea of the average, like that's like the average of their intelligence, the average of their attitude, the average of their ambition, right? And so if you are feeling like you are being anchored, right, or like you say, when I leave feeling full or feeling lighter, I know that those are my people. Those are the right people for me. When I leave a group and I'm feeling, weighted down or just miserable, they're not my people.
Yeah.
And so that's something that you've taught me a lot over the years. And it's hard to walk away from the people who are dragging us down, right? But the good news is when we walk away, that gives us an opportunity to find the right people on our crew. And that's what's really been exciting about Wotherwill, is that we've met some incredible people that are really, standing behind us and supporting us. And it's not a competition. There's so much room in the sandbox for everyone, right? And there's been so many times, I think, that we've come across people in our community who could view us, or we could view them, as competition, right? But it's not about that at all. And we know that successful women are often successful because of the women who have their back, who have stood behind them and beside them and cheered them on along the way. And I just love being a part of something like that. It's like a movement that's happening, and I love it.
I love it too. However, that doesn't just happen overnight to get to that point
Oh,
where you're able to embrace the otherness. And so I'm glad you pointed that out, but I do want to say that as well, is that well, at least for me, I'm not going to speak on your behalf, but for me, that wouldn't have always been the case for me.
nope.
To not
Yeah.
see others as competition. And yeah, anyways, we could probably do an entire episode just on that.
I think we should.
Like, I'm telling you,
Awesome.
totally could. We totally could. All right, my friend, where are we at?
We are at season 3 of Pep Talks and Prosecco, episode 1.
Wow.
In the can, which is amazing. And we are back. Some things might change, but one thing that's going to stay the same is the Prosecco and us showing up every Sunday afternoon for a little pep talk. So we can't wait to see you next week. It's so great to be back.
And guess what? There's one more thing that I want to share.
Okay.
Okay, is that okay before we wrap things up?
Of course it is.
Okay, and the final thing is this. We are as good as the feedback that we get from our community. And everything that has gone into season 3 has been motivation and inspiration from all of you. So without you, season 3 would be beige. And just like I said before, you better buckle up, because beige has no seat on this flight. See you guys next Sunday.
Cheers.
Hold the freaking presses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Are you guys getting a little bit tired about feeling stuck all the time? Guess what? Lisa and I have been stuck many, many times.
So many times.
And we found ways to get unstuck. So, Lisa, tell them how we can help them out.
Well, we want to be your wing women by offering you a 30-minute free virtual consultation with us. So if that sounds something like you're interested in, head on over to our website, wotherwill.com, and sign up for that consultation today. Cheers!